Members, I thank the Noble Lord Berkeley for securing this debate, and I return to issues that I previously raised with the Noble Lord the Minister, particularly about biosecurity and the impacts on small and medium-sized enterprises through the operation of these inland sites. Three points really to make. The first is, and if the Noble Lord the Minister can provide any information on this, I have been speaking to the environmental horticulture industry, and I declare the fact that I've got, with the Industry and Parliament Trust, I have a fellowship with the Horticultural Trade Association. And what seems to have settled into the pattern for the environmental horticulture sector is that they are seeing large numbers of lorry loads being simply waved through, not being subjected to any checks. Now, I'm well aware of the desire to make sure there's not too much obstruction at the border, but there is a general feeling, which I'll come back to later, that Severington doesn't have enough space, that there is not enough staff capacity, there's not enough staff there at the right times, and that it's actually impossible to do the biosecurity checks, which were previously done on site when they arrived at nurseries and other places. And that presents a really serious biosecurity risk when we know the pests and diseases that potentially can be imported from the continent. And there's also concerns about goods coming from other places. Now, I refer to the comments just been made in the last few days by the Director General of the Institute of Export and International Trade, particularly looking at the food side of things. Businesses were being left in the dark with vital information provided much too late. And to continue the quote, the systems being introduced aren't working properly. Businesses are frustrated, hauliers are angry, and fresh produce has gone off due to repeated delays. And like the Noble Lord Berkeley, I'm not going to read out an enormous amount of detail here, but I think it is worth people in general knowing that on the 17th of May, DEFRA issued a series of updates. Now, these indicated that medium plant products will now be split into two categories: medium A, which needs phytosanitary certification and pre-notification, and medium B, which needs a phytosanitary certificate but not for pre-notification. Oh, so far, only certain fruits, such as quince and stone fruit, are in the latter category. Spinach leaves have just moved from the low risk to the medium A risk category. Now, I really do think that we have to look at the usage, what's happening to the facilities discussed created by the instrument we're actually discussing, and think of how difficult it is to people to manage this system when those kind of things are happening. And I finally, again referring particularly to Severington, want to raise issues raised by the Dover Port Authority back in the end of March, but I think that still very much apply. And now that we've had some time for the facility at Severington to be in operation, perhaps the Noble Lord the Minister can comment on the way in which it is going. There was a great concern that whether Severington actually had, for products of animal origin, whether it actually had sufficient capacity to be able to handle. And again, the reports I'm hearing suggest that many lorry loads are either being waved through or they are ending up having to wait long periods of time, which of course for animal products is a serious issue. So we are of course going into an election period. I guess these issues for 6 weeks or so are not going to probably get much airing, but they're issues that are continuing and that are going to have to be grappled with by whoever's in government and by an industry sector that's really, at the moment, is giving strong indications that the government systems are causing it to struggle enormously with getting in the goods they need.
Yep. Yeah.